We have the Congressional Black Caucus literally demanding, they're demanding, they're not requesting, so they say. This is the letter, September 10th, 2021. This is a letter demanding, basically reiterating their strong support for including a pathway to citizenship for dreamers, essential workers, farm workers, and temporary protected status holders. Now, the cool thing about this is that, we know the CBC, the Congressional Black Caucus, was supposed to represent black issues, represent foundational black ADOS or whatever you want to call it, issues. However, they move along to put into their own website that they represent minorities. Now, what really pisses me off is while they're sitting there talking all this shit, black people are in need of reparations. And what is the CBC doing about actually affirming, reiterating, assist, or anything like that about us getting reparations? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because we see here Biden telling lawmakers don't expect much for reparation legislation for the African Americans who built this country, for the ADOS foundational blacks who built this country. So, oh my God, what are we to think? Because we hadn't had anybody from the NAACP. We haven't had anybody from the Black Congressional Caucus, or the Congressional Black Caucus, excuse me, come out and speak to this issue. Ain't nobody rallying for us. Ain't nobody sending no letters for us like this. There's nobody sitting anything like this for us. But yet, we get that with no issue. Biden privately tells lawmakers not to expect much on reparation legislation. And we supposed to just be cool. Earlier, a couple of I think it was last week, your boy Barack Obama, he comes in and he makes a speech. And we're going to watch said speech to hear what the ignoramus had to say. So, I pulled it up. Let's listen very carefully. Okay? Pay attention now.
The big message of Terry's opponent is that he's a regular guy because he wears fleece. And he's accusing schools of brainwashing our kids. He's also said he wanted to audit the voting machines used in the last presidential election again. Really? Encouraging the lies and conspiracy theories that we've had to live through all this time? And yet we're supposed to believe he's going to stand up for our democracy? Either he actually believes in the same conspiracy theories that resulted in a mob, or he doesn't believe it, but he's willing to go along with it, to say or do anything to get elected. And maybe that's worse. Because that says something about character. And character will end up showing when you actually are in office. When you got somebody like Terry who's responsible and serious, he's worth fighting for. So you got to go out there and show the cynics that you're willing to knock on doors for Terry, to make the calls for Terry, to tell your friends and neighbors what's at stake. We ain't got time to be tied. We don't have time to be tired. What is required is sustained effort. You can't run ads telling me you're a regular old hoops-playing, dish-washing, fleece-wearing guy, but quiet.
Apparently, we ain't got time to be tired, says Obama. Says Obama. We ain't got time to be tired. We gotta just go out there and vote blue. Vote blue. And he's out there in Virginia campaigning this shit. Title of this is why black people will never, if they're smart, vote for the Democratic Party again unless we are given what we asked. I mean, this is just what it is, man. Like, there is no way to put this. Even come on. There's no way to put this. There's no other way to put this, man. Like, come on. I'm not even, like, I'm sitting here being very humble in this shit, right? Because I believe better. I want to do better. I don't want to be angry all the time. But when you go through this stuff as a person who is built of this country, you automatically know this is going to be a reaction at some point. Sometime. At some point, sometime. And see, what pisses me off is when we get people saying, well, black people can't get reparations because, we don't have the money. We'll go bankrupt. And, this, that, and the third. when we had a situation during COVID where we gave away almost $1.23 billion. Oh, excuse me, $300 billion, if not more, to foreign nations for absolutely no reason. Absolutely no reason. And I don't care what anybody say. You can call me whatever you want to call me. Absolutely no reason. And then they say, yeah, you know what? We have to keep our relationships going with those countries. You know, Mac, you can't be mad at the fact that the government is trying to keep those relationships going, because that's how we keep democracy going, and that's how we keep things popping off and all this other stuff. You know, until you come across things like this. Until you come across things like this. So, in the humanitarian aid, and it's hilarious because if you look at it, you read it, you can't sit here and talk shit. That shit talk goes out the window. Because everything that we're talking right now is justified when you look at things like this. 64 million in humanitarian aid for Taliban controlled Afghanistan. They're trying to make sure that the shit don't go to the Taliban. But it's already Taliban controlled. Okay, that don't mean nothing. People be talking. Okay, that's just little sideline stuff, man. Why are you sitting there bringing up that stuff? That's not even really something that black people should be worried about, because sometimes that shit is international, right? That shit is foreign policy type. But black people can't get paid reparations. Black people certainly can't get paid reparations until you see things like this. Biden asks Congress for $6.4 billion to relocate Afghan refugees. And they got it. We got them here. They're here. They're here. The Biden administration calling for Congress to allocate $6.4 billion to assist in the a multifaceted historical mission of reallocating Afghan refugees. Very interesting. Truly interesting. But yet, when you talk to Biden about, you know, black folk, that's the issue there. That's the issue there. That's the issue there. And then we got people like Joy Reid, Mark Lamont Hill, which is supposed to be a brother. Man, I had love for this motherfucker. I met this motherfucker at my goddamn my fraternal inauguration. It was just fucking. It just pissed me the fuck off to see how much of a coon this motherfucker become. Not just him, but also Eric never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. But let me be very clear here. This shit is pissing me off. And since this is my show, I get to talk about how much it pisses me off with no goddamn filters. And y'all get to either agree or get the fuck out of here and suck my dick. Don't give a fuck. Because what I'm speaking about here isn't feeling. It's a timeline. It's a timeline of facts. It's a timeline of what my community has been going through. And it's a timeline of what people believe we should continue to go through. It's a timeline that people believe that we should continue to go through. And when we look at things like this, that literally shows the disrespect that people like this man, Biden, have for us, Jim Crow Joe. You shouldn't even be surprised. You shouldn't even be surprised, fam, and that's some real shit. Oh no, Jim Crow Joe, he's not Jim Crow Joe. He's not racist. He don't care about race. He is not that same person that y'all say that he is. Stupid motherfuckers. Excuse my French. My apologies. But I'm not apologizing for that. Because people are acting real freaking dumb. The fact of the matter is this. In America, we have been given literally dog shit. And most people want us to live and want to accept and be in dog shit. And this is one of those things. The Congressional Black Caucus. Congressional Black Caucus celebrate 50 years of servitude and outline future progressive works. This is this. This is them. And the unfortunate thing for me is this. What unfortunate thing for everybody is. We sit here and we give these people chances on chances, on chances, on chances, on chances, on chances. For them not to look after. Matter of fact, let's talk about something real quick. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have a conversation. Let's do it real quick. Because I don't think, matter of fact, I'm positive that motherfuckers don't understand the outcome of situations like this. A lot of people ain't understanding the outcome of things like this. Joe Biden offering $450,000. Matter of fact, let's listen. Let's listen.
To pay out to illegal immigrants. The proposed plan would reportedly send 450 million that's wrong. It should say 450,000 taxpayer dollars per person to families who were separated at our southern border. Here to react, House Judiciary Committee member and author of the upcoming book, Do What You Said You Would Do, Fighting for Freedom in the Swamp, Congressman Jim Jordan. Jim, good morning to you.
Good to be with you, Steve.
Okay, so the Wall Street Journal broke this story that apparently the administration considering essentially paying at least $1 million per family to these migrant families who were impacted by President Trump's zero tolerance policy at the southern border, where when a family unit was taken into custody, they can't keep the kids with the adults, so they put them in separate places, and some of them got separated permanently.
Yeah. No, I mean, and think about this. You're gonna pay people $500,000 who broke the law at the same time the Biden administration is getting ready to raise taxes on the hardworking families of this country. It makes absolutely no sense. And you know, I think about this. First, you break the law, you get amnesty with Democrats. Now they're going to pay you for breaking the law. I mean, you think we have a problem in a caravan coming towards the border now, and what we've seen over the last several months. Wait until the word gets out that you actually get paid for breaking the law to come into our country. One of the many stupid policies from this administration.
Sure, when the word goes out, not only, you know, is Joe Biden saying, come on, or rather, officially, don't come, but come on.
Yeah.
And your family will get $1 million if you were involved in this. That's going to be crazy.
Well,
but I have a question for you, Jim. Apparently, according to the Wall Street Journal, there's like a dozen big law firms who are negotiating with the government on behalf of these migrant families.
Yeah.
How much do you think those lawyers are going to get? If the average family gets $1 million bucks, the lawyers are going to get at least half of it.
Yeah, they always get a big take, and again, so the American taxpayers, their taxes are getting ready to go up. Let's hope it doesn't happen. Let's hope they don't pass this crazy package. But that's what Democrats want to do: raise your taxes. Meanwhile, pay law firms a bunch of money for people who broke the law to get here.
Now, I want to make sure that motherfuckers understand what the fuck I'm saying and what the hell they just said. And I know it's coming from Fox, but don't look at the network. Look at the information that is being presented, and then you evaluate accordingly. That's why I don't care what term you choose to call yourselves or what we call ourselves. I just know that we are the descendants of slaves here on this continent. So why aren't we speaking about this in a way where we can actually come on terms with each other? We don't have to like each other in everything that we we don't have to agree with each other with anything that we say or everything that we say. However, we can agree to stand by each other regardless of what the difference is. And that's where we have a lot of issues in our past history, where we have people who had the same want for the outcome for people, but different ways to go about it. However, anyone against our people, that's understandable. But just because people have a difference of opinion of how we should go about doing things, that doesn't warrant anyone to be called or be labeled or be shut down. I think that it actually calls for us to be able to sit down and actually discuss with each other if this is the proper way to go about it, or if that's the proper way to go about it, and that's just what it is. And this is me saying this. This is my opinion. I don't give a damn what anybody has to say about it. This is me. You can like it or love it, hate it, or just debate it. I don't give a fuck. Either way. What does it mean to me? But at the same time, I brought that up to say this. We have them talking about giving $450K to people who are breaking the law to get here. But if you ain't noticed, there's another people that broke the law to get here. Another people that broke the law to get here. And they ain't speaking about them at all in the news. They ain't getting paid for nothing at all. In fact, they were whipped. They were
one U.S. Border Patrol officer received Haitian migrants
when they got here.
The Rio Grande coming back with food to a camp they've set up in Texas.
Hey, you use your women? This is why your country because you use your women for this. You go, that way. Hey, no, that's it. No. No.
We've got our families inside, dying of hunger. We've had to go out to buy food.
No!
You can see the tense scenes here. The Border Patrol are trying to stop people getting back into the camp after they went across to Mexico to get food, they say, because there isn't enough food for them actually there in the camp. There's more than 12,000 migrants, mostly Haitians, in the camp that sprung up in Del Rio, Texas, over the last 2 weeks. They want asylum, but US authorities are overwhelmed. This is just the latest flashpoint in a months-long surge of people illegally crossing the border.
You don't hear nothing about these people getting any type of reparations for getting swatted across their backsides or being abused at all. Are being abused at all. So this isn't about making things right like that. There is a strategic plot going on to bring in more people, to create more people, and build them in a buffer class status. This is just what it is. I'm not here to convince anybody or not. I'm not here to convince anybody or not. But your boy Obama show wasn't here to convince you either. He just got your support because he was black. He just got your support because he was black, and he ain't passed a damn thing for nobody who was black. Unless you was LGBTQ, and then you got something passed for you by default. By default, you got something passed to you. But nobody else who looked like him. Do you guys remember when he went to Flint, Michigan after the water crisis? And he literally, instead of declaring a state of emergency, which the president has all power to do, this this person, he sat there and took a glass of water and drunk it as it. Come on now. Come on, people. Let's talk. Do you remember when he went down after Trayvon Martin's death? And he said, if I had a son, because people was wild, they was going wild after that situation of George Zimmerman getting if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon. Do you guys remember when people called him out for not going to any black funerals? However, he went to 2 white boys' funerals and shed tears. And then he went to the very next black person that dies funeral and sung Amazing, how sweet the sound. Oh no, that wasn't the song, was it? I don't remember. He sung an old nigga spiritual, and I don't give a fuck what song it was. They're saved a wretch like me. This is the people we got representing us. These are the people that we got sitting there telling us that we need to get on board. We shouldn't be giving up. We shouldn't be giving up. We shouldn't be giving up. We too young to be tired. It's bullshit. Absolute, utter bullshit. You don't see what a Congressional Black Caucus is doing shit like this. You don't see the Hispanic caucus doing shit like this for us. You don't see Asian caucus or the Asian network, or what is it called? The Grand Asian Alliance. I don't give a fuck what it's called. You don't see them doing this for us. So why is it that we got these fucking people doing this shit? Because they're trying to replace your vote. I told you people, I told each and every one of you not to vote for Biden or Carmella, the freaking Kamala Harris, or Jim Crow Joe. Because Kamala comes from a slave-owning family, oligarchy family. And Jim Crow Joe been setting these laws since back in the day. Oh, he changed. Look at you now. And he's showing his ass. Congress showing their ass. Most of the people that sit there are supposed to be black fucking representation who are immigrants are actually showing their ass. Because they ain't saying shit. When I saw this shit earlier today, I actually sent the email. Actually, I called. First thing I did, I made a phone call. The closest congressman to me is Congressman Al Green. And if you see here, Congressman Al Green, that is his signature right there. Congressman Al Green. So, his office is right around the corner from where I live. I was going to go over there, excuse me. I was going to go over there. However, I said no, because every time I go over there, the office is closed. So, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call and see what the channels are. So I was able to call. I was able to speak to his press secretary. Emailed her after she gave me the information that I had to, send over to her. I sent that over to her because what I wanted to do is I actually want to get a lot of these Congress representatives for us. They're supposed to be representing us. These people, what is it? 16, 20 people. These 20 people I want to have an interview with. And I want to know. I want to speak to them directly. I want them to be able to give us a direct answer. And then we're going to put it inside the newly coming newspaper that's going to be launching on January 1st. The Outset Times. But this is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. We have people sitting here requesting for 5.2 million undocumented immigrants to just be allowed. And that's to take away your vote. That's to take away your vote as black people, so we can't sit here and work as a unit like everyone else is. We're the only people. Our Congress, our Congressional Congress, is the only Congressional Congress that is not working for the interest of everyone in that Congressional Congress constituents, which is black. The Hispanics have a Congressional Congress. So does the Asians, or they have an agency. Why are they not fighting for us as well? We're supposed to fight for them, but they can't fight for us? Because the Asians was paid. Illegal Hispanics was paid in this last bill that was passed. It seems like black folk is the only people that are being shown the asshole of America right about now. And that's exactly what's going on.